Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we have a nice little flow for a gassy belly. So this was a request that we had in the Yoga with Paige community, and these digestive-based classes are always a staple in my practices. I mean, we just really focus on moving everything about. So really let your breath take hold. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. So if you're feeling a little extra bloated or gassy, feel free. Let out some air. Let your belly out. Let it hang big. And we'll start circulating with some twists, some movements that focus on the abdomen and the lower body to really start working and massaging those internal organs, really aiding in your digestion as we kind of start squeezing the muscles. So see what you can feel in here. Take your awareness, your focus, your breath, your attention to about the root sacral chakra here, right in the belly. And whenever you're ready, we will get started in bound angle today. We don't need any props for this practice. We don't have any sun salutations. We do get up off the ground a little bit, but it is still a more gentle practice. So really just focusing on loosening up this general area. So sending the soles of the feet together, taking a moment to just notice how your body feels right now. Not focusing too much on opening through the groins, just coming into the breath. Relaxing the muscles of the belly. Not contracting or holding anything too tight or rigid. That's not going to help you in this instance for what we're here for. So let your breath just become natural as you settle in, settling onto the mat. Taking a few more gentle breaths here. Perhaps on this inhale, we extend, really reaching up through the crown of the head, trying to find as much length in the spine as we can. And on your exhale, feel free to round through the back as you shift forward, bringing the chest and the head towards the feet. Letting your belly become round and full, perhaps tucking the chin in towards the chest as well. Allowing your breath to continue there, nice and easy, in this gentle forward fold. Find one more big breath, releasing and rolling up on the exhale, still sitting in bound angle, taking the hands to the ankles, to the feet, wherever feels comfortable, and just finding slight little hip circles, little sways. Waking up the abdomen, say hello. Breathing some love, some good energy into that space. And when you're ready, crossing the feet at the ankles, coming into a nice easy seat, taking a little spinal twist. So find what feels comfortable. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall, keeping the shoulders down, gaze up. Exhale, twist to the right. Plant these right fingertips behind the bum, keeping your elbow bent. Really use this left hand to kind of press on the knee. Twist yourself a little bit, gently still. Staying here for a few breaths. Perhaps dipping the elbow, leaning yourself back, finding some motion. Get everything moving. And inhale, reach back up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the left. Using your exhales to allow yourself to gently open a little bit further. Last breath here. And return back to center, extending the legs out, coming into a little staff pose, flexing the feet. We can keep the legs nice and long here. We can find a slight little bend in the knees if we're a little tight in the backs of the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up once again. And exhale, fold forward, keeping a nice long line, just hinging from the hips, feeling a little stretch in the back of the hamstrings, in the lower back. Inhale, come back up, and exhale to fold. Just working through here for a few breaths. Again, just finding a lot of movements in the lower belly, the abdomen. Taking this chance to be with your breath. The breath is going to help you a lot to loosen everything up and release. So let's find one more of these. Inhale, come back up. Extend the legs out if we had them bent. Take the hands to the thighs. Inhale, lift up through the crown. And exhale, slowly creep the hands towards the legs, stopping wherever you feel it. Your body will tell you. Hold here. A few cleansing breaths. Inhale, creep the hands back up, reaching this left hand for the right big toe. Inhale, peel the right arm back for a twist, and we can lift the leg off, coming into this little revolved heron pose, finding a little twist, reaching the leg up into the chest. And exhale, carefully plant that right foot back down, find a little forward fold. And coming into the other side. Right hand reaches for the left big toe, find your revolve first. And carefully pick up the leg if you want to deepen this posture. Staying wherever you're at. Beautiful. Exhale, back to staff pose. Inhale, reach the chest up and come into a nice sturdy boat pose with the knees bent, lifting them up. Shins are parallel to the mat. Lift the chest close to the thighs. Pull them in. Squeeze with everything you have. Find that balance point. Really pull everything in. Work those organs. And we can stay here for a few more breaths. Or we have an option to extend into full boat or grab both big toes for a balancing posture, still reaching the legs into the belly. Big breaths. Don't hold your breath. And release the legs down, crossing the right knee in front. Left leg comes in back for a little deer pose. So find what feels comfortable here for you first. Before turning over this right knee, inhale, lift up. And exhale, slowly fold over that right knee. Finding a lot of these little movements to aid in your digestion, moving with the breath, finding your own pace. Taking about one more. And then finding a few windshield wipers just to kind of work through the lower legs and switch into the other side. So now our left leg is in front. You can face the back of the mat if you'd like. Sometimes it feels good to just resituate and stay with one direction. Find what feels good to you here, what feels nurturing. And use your breath. Fold over the left. Really getting a nice stretch in the front of the abdomen on the inhale. And a nice contraction of the organs on the exhale. Maybe you're already feeling it by now. Maybe it's helping you already. I hope that's the case. Beautiful. Finding your last one. Lifting back up and carefully making your way into child pose at the back of the mat. Big toes together. Sink the hips down. Reach the fingertips forward. Find a nice few breaths here. Maybe laying the belly on the thighs, kind of rocking back and forth, giving yourself a nice physical massage here. Take your time to melt downwards. Finding a few breaths to rest here, to reset, to check in. And then coming into a little Cobra child pose dancey flow. Lifting up, inhale, come onto the hands into a little baby cobra. Elbows are by the sides of the ribs. Exhale, shift onto the knees, round through the back, cat pose. Inhale to neutral spine and exhale, child. So working through this flow for a few breaths, moving again at your own pace, finding your own speed. Finding your own sense of play, your own dance. Beautiful. Making this your last round, or reaching for one more. We meet in downward facing dog. Take your time to arrive there, pedaling out through the backs of the feet. Keeping the knees bent if you need to. No shame in that. And when you're ready, inhale to lift the heels and exhale, highly roll through to high plank. Engage the core, lift the hips, and exhale, send them back, downward facing dog. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, nice strong roll, keeping the core and the hips up. And then lift them back, downward facing dog. One more time. Beautiful. Meeting in downward facing dog. Picking up the right leg. Bring it nice and high in through the chest. Plant it in between the hands. Lifting up into a nice runner's lunge. Take a breath here on fingertips. When you feel stable, lift up the hands. Reach that left heel back. Hands come to heart center. Inhale. And exhale, twist. So this left elbow comes to the outer edge of the right knee as we press the hands together, reaching the gaze up and behind. Holding here. On your next out breath, release the hands. Right reaches up as the left finds the mat. Big, big breaths. Help your body cleanse and release. Beautiful. And then coming into extended side angle, plant that right hand on the inside of the foot. Turn on the outer edge of the back foot. Reach the left arm overhead, coming up onto the knee if we need to. Finding a nice long line from the fingertips to the outer edge of the foot. Windmilling that arm around, coming into a Skandasana. Right knee is bent, left toes flex up at the face. Find a few breaths here to sink in, settle. Lifting the chest up. Planting the fingertips down. Come up onto both feet, extending the legs and coming into a wide-legged straddle. Really grounding down through the outer edges of the feet. Let your chest melt forward. Coming onto the fingertips, the palms, the forearms. Letting the head hang, recirculating some blood. Find some ease where you can. Soften your breath. Relax your muscles. And when you're ready, carefully lift back up. Come into downward facing dog. To repeat again on the other side. We can take an optional vinyasa here, a sun salutation if you wish. If we want to add some fire to the practice. Or we can stay a little gentler, taking the left leg in, making your way through a high runner's lunge first. You know where to go now. Breathing into the hips, allowing them to open. Before lifting up, reaching that right heel back, ground down through the left foot, hands at heart center. Breathe in nice and full. And exhale, twist. Pressing the hands together, feel the heat, feel the energy of your body. And exhale, come into your twist. Carefully, with as much control as you can. Peel the left fingertips up. Create space. and extended side angle. Your version. Sinking the hips low as you lift up high. And into your Skandasana. Right foot is flexed up this time. Sink those hips low. Find a few breaths to reset. If your heart rate got up there a little, perhaps close the eyes for a moment, going inwards. And making your way into your wide-legged forward fold when you are ready. This time, planting the hands under the chest, pressing up, keeping the right hand planted or up on fingertips or a block. Inhale, peel the left up, taking the fingertips up the arm, through the chest, really reach, keeping everything else as stable and as still as you possibly can. Maybe feeling some opening in the front of the shoulder. Releasing on your next out breath, carefully replacing the right hand to peel it up. Take your gaze where it feels comfortable. Last breath. Release back down to center. Frame to the front of the mat. Step the left foot back. Walk the hands towards the feet and sink down into a nice squat at the back of the mat. We'll stay here for a little bit, coming to near the end of our practice today. So really allow yourself a chance to open and surrender in this posture. Really connect to the breath, to the hips. Malasana or yogi squat is great for the digestion. Welcome all of the sensations, physical, mental, sitting with them for a moment to recognize their presence. And staying here in traditional squat wherever you have found yourself. Or we can extend this into a little bind, reaching the left arm up and behind the back, trying to reach the right arm around the knee and grab hold of the hands. Still breathing through. Feeling the hips sink lower and lower as you release. And if you've taken your bind, we can now gently come out and take the other side. Releasing from your bind. Coming through Malasana for one last big inhale. And exhale. Fingertips come to mat. Carefully lower one knee and then the other coming onto the belly for our final posture. Coming into Locust pose. So untuck the feet, arms come by the sides. Gaze down in front. Inhale. And on your exhale, squeeze, send the pelvis down into the mat. Lift the legs, lift the arms, lift the chest. Squeezing everything in. Shoulder blades are tight. Glutes are squeezed. Lifting the chest forward, finding a nice few breaths. We can always extend the arms forward, Superman pose. We can also extend this posture into bow pose by reaching for the ankles, sending the legs up, rocking on the belly, kind of rolling around. Really get everything moving there. And when you're ready, we can release and sink the hips back into a nice child pose. I recommend taking the knees to the wide edges of the mat, really allowing your belly to hang down. Let it live its life. Let it go. Let it be where it is. Taking these last few breaths to just be with no agenda, no to-do list. Just you, your mat, and your breath. Enjoying your last few moments in child pose. And carefully lifting up whenever you're ready. Coming to find a gentle seat where we place our hands on our little belly here. And we just send her some love. Maybe close the eyes just for your last few breaths. Send your belly love, send your body love, send your mind love. And with my last breath, I send you love. And I thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this gentle practice, and I can't wait to see you again next time on the mat.